people are dead and countless others are still missing, possibly buried alive, and she's giving a speech to her Democrat donors. Curtis Sliwa, founder of Guardian Angels, joins me now. Curtis, how inappropriate is it that she's talking about climate change when there are so many people that have immediate needs, they're suffering?
Absolutely, and she's not a stranger. That's her backyard.
Yeah.
I remember 1977, the same thing happened. I was stuck there in 1988. I'm busting up desks, wooden desk cabins, putting it in a potbelly stove to stay warm. That's the way Buffalo used to be. And then technology. Climate change and global warming came, and supposedly the snow would never come again. Well, Mother Nature has fooled Kathy Crime Wave Holcomb and everybody else. She's back with a vengeance. And look, this is the way it's always been in that Lake Erie area. So the thing that is so symbolic of New York, we have looting, we have shoplifting and boosting in good weather and bad weather. And imagine they're extricating dead people on one side of the street, and they're coming by on snowmobiles and looting on the other side of the street. And the worst, even a Family Dollar store. How low can you go? Usually it's the liquor store first, the jewelry store, then the sneaker store. But when they hit the Family Dollar stores, we've hit rock bottom. Yeah. And notice, no threats of you loot and shoot like DeSantis in Florida.
Right.
Remember Hurricane Ida? We're a Second Amendment state. You come in here looking to loot, we're telling all our folks to shoot. That's the way it has to be. Or they'll just keep coming in waves.
Right, and a lot of these looters should have been in jail. They've been let out. I mean, they wouldn't even be on the streets if the laws were different in New York.
Of course, you want to loot, you want to shoplift, you want to boost, come to New York. It's no cash bail. Why do you think so many people are fleeing New York? New York State, from Buffalo to Brooklyn, has had more flight, more exodus than any other state in the nation. And where are they going? DeSantis land, Freedom Land, where the people have rights, and the sheriff will meet you right at the corner there with a double-barrel shotgun if you're trying to steal property.
You know, Curtis, this is a weather story. It is a crime story, but it's also a culture story because the Democrats and people like Kathy Hochul have done so much to take God out of so many of our institutions, to secularize this country, to denigrate families and marriage. And then should we really be surprised that we have kids, young people with no morality who are looting on Christmas while people are suffering from a storm?
Not only that, but she knew in advance what was going to happen. Absolutely. She should have had the National Guard on Thursday. You know where she was? She was right here in New York City because our mayor, the swagger man with no plan, Eric Adams, was vacationing, raising the roof in Jamaica. So she had to come where there was some flooding as a quid pro quo. She should have been in Buffalo from Thursday, should have declared an emergency. State emergency management would have been kicked in, and the National Guard would have been there in full force, and there would have been no shooting and looting.
Yeah, you know, Curtis, I see what you're saying. I know that you believe leadership matters, but truly, it's really our fault. We caused climate change. And that's why we're in this position.
Did you hear Mayor Byron Brown? He goes, oh, they weren't stealing food and pharmaceuticals. I've been through so many riots of looting and shooting. They never steal the pharmaceuticals and food. Like, remember AOC, all out crazy, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez?
They were out for bread, remember? They just wanted bread. I remember.
Yeah.
Curtis, great to have you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Can we bring DeSantis up here? Can you loan us DeSantis and save New York State?
I think you're going to have to move to Florida.
No.
Thanks, Curtis. Next, a brand new supply chain crisis on the horizon.